Hello y'all, it's Lucy and my blog is Paper Glitter Glue, and I've been making these surprise paper mache eggs for spring, or specifically for Easter. So it's just a paper mache egg that I cut in two and added a string around the side, a little pull tab. But before I did all that, I stuffed it with little treats. So there are little gifts inside as a surprise. This is the biggest one. This took a little while to make. It's one of my favorite ones. And it's stuffed with treats. This paper mache surprise egg. Here's another one. This is my demonstrator model. We're going to open this one in a minute. Another example. And this one, kind of primitive art. You know, I was playing around and that's the way it looks. And then this one I tried to do violets, but I only have metallic paint. Not the greatest, but I don't think I'm going to give them to some little kids in my neighborhood. I don't think they're going to mind. Alrighty, I'll show you how it works. So like I said, this is my demonstrator model, and I actually used yarn as the string for the pull tab, and it made kind of a ridge. So after that I had some baker's twine, so it's thinner, so it should work just as well. Okay, let's pull. Oh shoot, my yarn broke. It's just regular cotton yarn. So it pulls, and then we open it up, I hope. There you go, and the bunny pops out. I can seal this bunny up again. I'll have to repaint the outside, but I can seal it up. The others have a lot more treats in them. I added a little bit of candy because I didn't think parents would mind, just a tiny bit of chocolate candy, some erasers, and like a little pad and stuff. So the bigger one has a llama in it. Okay, so this is how the paper mache surprise eggs work, and I think kids will be delighted with it. Alrighty, let's get started. Okay, here are the simple materials you need to make paper mache egg, and specifically we're making the surprise egg. A balloon, this is like a dollar store balloon, a thing of water, so when your fingers get so sticky you can kind of dip it in there and the paper won't stick to you. A pretty liquid glue. You can mix Mod Podge with just a little water. It's already very liquid, so you don't need a ton of water for that. Or you can use like any other regular white glue like Elmer's glue all, that works fine. And then sometimes it helps to have a bowl to put your balloon in because it tends to bounce around. And then for this paper mache balloon, I'm using newspaper, partly because it tears so nicely. It makes really nice strips, and it's a little easier to apply. So, and I like them about this long. I think that's easier also. I've used tissue paper before, and I've used my brown packing paper, which makes a much sturdier balloon, but we're going to be busting them open anyway, so I don't think you need to worry about a sturdy balloon. So I'll just do a few steps and kind of show you. I paint it. I just paint someone somewhere. Try to paint it enough so that you can get more than one strip. And obviously this is one of my favorite glue paintbrushes because it's so messy, but I love it. Okay, apply it, smooth it down. Your fingers will get pretty sticky. If you've got two choices of pages, use the plainer side because you have to paint over this, and it's easier if the writing isn't very dark. Let's put another strip in here. It jumps out. And you can also use a flour paste. I tried that, but it actually is much more pleasant to work with. It's not as sticky on your hands, and you don't, you can wash them off easier. You don't have to, the glue dries on your hands, and then you have to kind of peel it off. But you have to wait, you really do have to wait 24 hours between each layer because it's an organic material, and if you don't get it completely dry, the flour paste will mold and kind of ruin your stuff. So you really do have to wait 24 hours. And since I was making so many balloons, I just didn't, it's going to take like 5 days, because I usually do 5 layers. You can do 4 or 5 layers. If it was a piñata and you just needed it to hold up briefly, you only need like 3 layers. Or tissue paper, you might need a little bit more. Tissue paper is really pretty, but it's so thin, it sticks to your fingers, and it's a little bit harder to work with. But it's a pretty material, and the inside of the eggs are beautiful. Kind of a marble look. I'm pretty generous with the glue. Let's see. Now let's glue our baker's twine to the egg, and this will be what helps the egg open up easier so people can get to the surprise inside of our little paper mache egg. And I just use some baker's twine, and really all I need to do, this is the golden egg, is put a bead of glue, and I just use a regular glue here. You don't need anything fancy. Eileen's tacky glue, Elmer's, you know, whatever, really flexible glue. Because this isn't structural, you actually want it to be, you don't want it to be too strong because you want to pull the string up so that it'll tear the paper and kids can get into their surprise paper mache egg. Hope I cut it long enough. Yes, I did. Okay, now I just smear it. And I leave a little tail. That's what we're going to use as our pull tab. And then just let it dry. After that, we'll get a strip of paper, and apply Mod Podge, or then we stuff it. We put our little surprises inside, and then we'll seal it up with some paper mache. And I just do one layer of newspaper, and then I do a few small strips that go up and down, and that's how you seal it. Then I'll prime it, and I'll do a touch up, and then decorate the egg, and it'll be all ready. Now, let's paint with some glue. I'm just using Mod Podge right now. Whoops. Try not to paint the bunny. Get it on the bunny's fur. Apply a strip of paper. A little strip of newspaper so that it sticks. Add more Mod Podge. Smear that down. It's getting away from me. Little paper mache egg is escaping. Shift it a little bit. And now I'll reinforce with a little bit on the side. Again, you want it to be, you know, lightly secured so that when the person pulls the string, it'll tear it off and they can get into the child can get into the egg easily. Okay, it looks like it's working.